I.S.U.P.K.
Practice, not a game, not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? And we're talking about practice.
Best believe that I'm top 3. The only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Put me anywhere other than one, then it's not me. It's beef, we strut a nigga block, that's chopped cheese. No peace, the butterfly sting him, that's Ali. You reach, I teach him with the handle, that's Kyrie. Machines you hook like a Roman, that's IV. You a sheep, I'ma go, it's a difference, so watch me. You weak, all hooks, no punches, so block these. They mock me, I just show them how it goes. Try to stomach this thug life. They brain got the nose, bandana on the grip. All heads coming out the foe. Connected from Cali to New York, niggas, so let it go. Made for this, nigga, I eat bars and drink flows. Thinking you woke into your third eye, peephole. Line for line, this shit too easy, it's like a free throw. Mastered the game too early, this bitch a cheat code. It ain't a game, these niggas lame, state bring a shame. If I'm with an officer, it's a number in his name. We ain't the same, you want the easy pass, tell him change his lane. Shit, I've been through the fire, you can't stand the rain, take an aim. Tell him runner, he can try his best. Drive a car named after me, that's why I'm in the vet. Lamping these niggas once again, and I ain't break a sweat. Number one at everything I do, that's why I'm one west. The Lord is not the God of the dead, so when I die, coming back for my spot, so forever I'm top 3. Just tell him to watch this janitor with the mop stick. You gon' need a defensive lineman to block this. On point when I bomb shit, 10 for 10 I do not miss. I'm barking with a full bulldog, it is not mixed. They can see that my mind's sick, I don't write, I find shit. I don't like it, then I switch. If I touch it, it's diamond. Tell a bitch that I'm God sent. It ain't because my kicks is built like 5'6", 5'7" is my bitch. Dangerous, high risk. I lose it, get another one. You think I'm talking about a girl? I'm talking about another gun. You hear now? Hey, look, it is what it is now. We don't don't fuck with the house niggas, we burn the crib down. I'm ahead now, and I hope they can hear now. I don't care if you think it's it, nigga, I don't fear clowns. Silences make it sound like raindrop, that's a quiet storm. Get the job done in the view and get fired on. If you niggas standing for nothing, what you dying for? If you put real with real, that's how I was born. Walk in this bitch ready for war, I'm in riot form. I want these niggas to see me flex, that's why I am armed. I shouldn't live in the crib, nigga, I should buy a farm to go through this shit so effortless. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3.
Wow, what's going on? Tú sabes, Shalom, Yabba Shem Shagatam, ¿qué es lo que hay? With feedback, somebody's gonna have to lower down their mic, their speaker.
Yahweh Shem Yashabrakatam.
Yabba Shem Shagatam, ¿qué es lo que hay, mi gente?
Yahweh Shem Yashabrakatam.
Hey, Nicaragua, what's going on, Papa? Everything cool out there?
Estamos en la lucha.
Oh, ya tú sabes. All right, Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahshai Adali. I hear you, bro. I hear you. Nigga, you hear me, right? All right. So,
it's a really bad connection. Let me see if I can log back.
Yeah. Do it. Anybody got a question? Let's go. Straight from Managua, Nicaragua. What's going on? Go ahead, Sawak.
God, I asked you last week about Wisdom of Solomon.
Oh, my bad. You know what? I got to come back at you with that. Mala mia, okay? And I was speaking. I'm gonna ask the jump because I'm with him. I was with him today. I'm gonna ask him mañana, okay? Salaki, I'll hit you up, right? You know, I'm doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mala mia. Other than that, anybody else got a question? Hey, Adan, Ratazar, Shalom, what's going on, bro? All right. Anybody else? Magana Math. Any pregunta, what's going on?
Ya nosotros habíamos hablado de este tema y usted me había enseñado este tema. No todavía no he podido encontrar exactamente la clase, pero Ruth era Israelite, no era China.
No, Ruth was not Ruth was an Israelite, a daughter of Israel, not a Moabitess. That's the problem with a lot of these break-offs, right? A lot of people assuming because they label as a Moabitess. People don't understand that there's certain Israelites named by different nations because of either where they were living at or where they born at. Let me give you a modern example. Dominicans are really the tribe of Simeon, but we don't know them as Simeon, right? We would call, for instance, Sawap, we would call him Sawap el Dominicano, right? We would call Magana Month el Boricua, right? They call me, right? Or they either call me el Gringo, right? Because I'm born in the state, or they just call me Bori for short. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? They just call you by from where you were from, or even if you were born there. A lot of Christians think that when they see about Ruth, right? About Ruth, if you could get that one for me, Swap, right? When they read about Ruth, and they assuming on the quick, when you, Adon is asking, when you pray, do you pray to Yahweh or include Yahweh Shai? You got to include Yahweh Shai as well in the prayers. Adon, and I'm going to give you an example, right? But let me first address this situation, right? Find me and talk about Ruth and Naomi, right? What people don't understand and what they tend to forget is that at this given time in Nicaragua, I don't know, you got two open. Which one do I accept? You gotta be one or the other, brother. The first one, I'm gonna knock it out the box. We kick you off from there and just add you here.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now. Can you hear me now?
I don't can.
Nicaragua, can you hear me? Okay, Most High in Christ. All right. All right, just bear with me. I gotta shoot these two these links a lo hermano, right? But let me just get off of here. All right. All right. So I know in Honduras, esto, Honduras probably at a different time zone. Just bear with me. Okay. Let me get here. So what? You got it?
I got Ruth 1 and 3.
Yeah.
Is
Read
that what you're
that.
looking for?
Read that right there.
In Spanish, sir?
Let's do it in English.
Give me
We can
1
also
second,
do
sir.
it in Spanish too. Magan, get that book también in Spanish. Tell me where you at, Sawak.
Este es el libro de Ruth 1 y 3.
So now read it in English.
And this is the book of Ruth, chapter 1, verse 3. And Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left, and her 2 sons.
Right. Okay, so now another look at it is compact Bible dictionary, right? So now let me see what it say, right, about Ruth, right? And that's all you gotta do. Just do put a little effort in the scriptures. They give many different examples of other Israelites being called by different lands or by different nationalities, but don't mean that they were of those same nationality. They was just meaning that they was living around them for quite a long time, or they might have been born in the land of whoever,
Slovakia. Shall I continue, sir?
Yeah. So it say here in this compact Bible dictionary, a Moabitess, right, who married a son of Elimelech, the son of Naomi of Bethlehem, right? So Naomi was from Bethlehem, right? Uh, her romance resulting in her becoming an ancestor of the Messiah, right? The days of the theocracy, right? Elimelech's 2 sons married Moabite women. When the 3 men died, Naomi returned to Judah. Ruth's decision to conform to the customs of the dead husband's family. So people think, right, when they hear that, it make it seem like she was Chinese, right? Moabites are Chinese. It make it seem like she was Chinese, but she wasn't Chinese. She was just born in or grew up from little in the land of Moab. People forget the land of Moab was not where it is today, China. They all got pushed with the disposition of time to the far east. Okay, Moab. If you go look at the old map, Moab lived around Israel. Okay, and the reason why you had Israelites in those was because of the same reason you have us here in captivity. You know what I'm saying? So we were dispersed. All right. Shalom.
Yahweh Shai Barakatham.
Come in Puerto Rico.
How about Shem Yoshak Barakatham?
All
Right,
right.
Yahweh Shai Barakatham.
All right. So that's the thing with Ruth, right? So read it again, Sawap.
Khan Khan. Book of Ruth, chapter 1, verse 3. And
Okay.
Elimelech.
Hold on a second, right? So I want everybody to understand, brother, if you're a young man, the protocol is to wear all black shirt, all black headband, right? All black everything, right? So that that's protocol. If you can't follow that protocol, that's just letting us know that there's going to be issues with you later on. I had to wear all black when I came in. There was no prints of nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had to, Commanding General Hanna had to wear it, and he's the one in charge of it. So he had to wear it. You know what I mean? So if we're following the man that's teaching us, we got to do what he say. You know what I mean? So I understand you got that now, and it looked nice. It looked nice. If I was you, this would be like that bomb uniform, all right? When you're in office, you be flash. You know what I mean? What's going on? Hold on. What's going on?
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah.
The
Yeah,
lights.
Bashim Yasha Barakatum.
Yeah, it must be something.
Salam Yahweh Shem Barakatam.
All right.
Ooh.
Dwayne Davis, Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah. Trooper from Minneapolis. Hey, what's going on, Dwayne? So Salaki, so what? One more time. Let's go for it one more time.
Khan. The book of Ruth, chapter 1, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
And Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died,
Uh-huh.
and she was left,
Right.
and her 2 sons. Verse 4. And they took them wives of the women of Moab.
Uh-huh.
The name of the one was Orpah,
Uh-huh.
and the name of the other Ruth.
Right. So one was Oprah, the other one was Ruth, right? So now here's the thing. When everybody read that part, when it said that the sons took women of Moab, right? It does not mean that they take them of the woman of Moab. It means of, as in from Moab, meaning from where they was living at. Okay, it's like I gave an example today. If a brother from Haiti decides to marry a sister from over here, right? And if you take her back home, he's gonna say what?
Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah.
Honduras,
Shalom.
Spartans, it says
Yahweh
religious
Shem
fiction hour. Hey? Yo, I love TikTok. You got a bunch of clowns up here. Listen, once again, if you do not like my content, you got free roads that lead to somewhere. Why don't you just hop on the road and bounce? That's all. Anybody else that care to stay, stay. You know what I mean? And that's right. Just remember, we don't have religion. That is the truth. But once again, we don't deal with religion, but the nationalists, right, are Christians, right? What they call them? The evangelical, right? Evangelical Christians, right? Who we got? Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah, Trooper Nayab Ban Yahweh from Columbia, South Carolina. Hey, what's going on too? All right. So that portion is took women of Moab. It does not mean that these 2 women were Chinese. It only meant that they took them from the land. Now, later on, you'll see that Oprah decided to keep the customs she was doing over there. You know what I'm saying? But Ruth decided to do something that was righteous. Secondly, Israelites at this time knew the law. They knew Deuteronomy 7 and 8. McGunn, get me that one. Deuteronomy 7 and 3. Or if hold on. Matter of fact, Quatazar, get me Deuteronomy 7 and 3. You still doing it?
Khan.
Completely? Yeah. Okay. You talking about the whole lamp? Okay, maybe it's a plug thing. Maybe the light just died out. All right. So, but on the floor there's a lamp. Just switch that on. It'll give you light. That's why I keep it there. Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 3, Quatazar.
Khan. Deuteronomio.
Hold on, you can do it in English. For now.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Uh-huh.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou make take unto thy son. Verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods.
And that's the problem when we marry outside of our nation, because staying married within our nation would keep us in check, to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, to marry who the Most High say to marry, right? And if we didn't do that and we married what the Christians say, you marry whoever you're in love with, right? That's what Christianity teaches, right?
Right.
if your heart feels like you and her belong together, she could be of another nation, and it was meant to be. Well, in the eyes of God, that ain't meant to be. You know what I'm saying? Hey, no sweat, Gadayala. Just stay remain on the YouTube. Hold on, Quatazar. Right? And that's the problem with Christianity. That's the problem with religion. You know what I'm saying? That they tell you to marry whatever your heart feels, you marry that. You know, there are some cats who marry animals too, right? They have sex with animals too, and they be going to church as well. You know, and in their heart, in their mind, that's what they love. You know what I'm saying? In church, they love molesting children. In church, they love raping women and turning out a young brother, into a effeminate dude. You know what I'm saying? They love those things. So obviously, there's something wrong when you talk about God, talk about Jesus, and then tell you the Black, Latino, Native Indian, just marry whatever you feel in your heart. Marry. If you want to marry Becky from Arkansas, you know what I'm saying, and you and her got a bond and y'all love each other, God would accept it. Hell no, God don't accept that. That's a goddamn lie. That's a goddamn lie. We reading it right here in the law. That's a goddamn lie. You know? Hey, and think about it. There's 12 tribes. If any brother want a light-skinned brother or sister, I'm available. If any sister, that is, want a light-skinned brother, hey, look at Quatazar, young and handsome and strong. He light-skinned. Or if you want something nice and chocolatey, well, you got Magana Maz. You got the young man in Honduras. You got the young man in La República Dominicana. You got chocolate and caramel. You know what I'm saying? You got swap. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no need to go outside, yo. You know what I'm saying? Israel come in flavors. You know what I'm saying? The Bible say we the salt of the earth. There's no need to step out the realm of our nation. There's 12 tribes, yo. 12 tribes. If you want blonde hair, blue eyes, but guess what? Find a brother that have blonde hair, blue eyes. But you know their father is an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be, hey, if you like this too, right? If you like chinky eyes, well, guess what? There's plenty of natives that got chinky eyes. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to go to China. You don't need to go to Korea. You don't need to go to amongst the Filipinos. You don't need to go to the Siberia for that. You know what I'm saying? You find an Israelite. Hey, there's even Judites and Simonites who look like this with chinky eyes. If that's your thing, you know, stay within the nation. But when you step out of our nation, what happens is that we end up serving their gods. That's the problem. Like if a brother like Arab women, well, guess what? He's gonna serve Allah. If a brother like blonde-headed chicks, they're gonna serve Christianity, and that's the problem. We as Israelites, not listening to the Lord, we marry outside of our people, right? In the case of Ruth, she was a daughter of Israel who was called Moabitess because of where she was born at. Okay? It's just like I explained earlier. It's no different than a brother that's born in Jamaica, born and raised, the whole family, tribe of Benjamin, and wanted to get from a sister from the Dominican Republic. She's of the Dominican. She's of the Dominican Republic. Oh, she's Dominican. Well, everybody will recognize that. That's the first thing they would come out, you know? Or she's of Simeon, but she was born in China. She's Chinese. Like, I'm going to give an example. My own mother in Japan, from a Puerto Rican father. She was one of those, what they call war babies. But my mother, because she was born in Japan, they called her Japanese, even though she was Ephraim. But she was always like, and sometimes the Boricuas in New York, La Chinita, because of her chinky eyes, you know what I'm saying? But she was born in Japan. Her father was Ephraim, her mom was Ammon. Both my mother and her sister, my aunt, Japanese woman. They weren't really Japanese women. They were just born there. You know what I mean? So that's the case with Ruth. She was just born there, so they called her by the land. Oh, she Moab. Everybody understand?
Karawan
Khan.
You understand, Magan? Do I need to do it in Spanish or we good?
Claro, estaba esperando en español, pero ya yo la capté.
Okay, no, just read it in Spanish. Vamos a leer en español esa parte, dale. Ruth 1 y 3.
Claro. Ruth, capítulo 1, versículo 3.
Ajá.
Y murió Elimelech,
Ajá.
marido de Noemí, y quedó ella con sus 2 hijos.
We in Ruth 1 and 3, okay? Okay, continúa, Magan, mala mía.
Versículo 4. Los cuales tomaron para sí mujeres moabitas.
Ajá.
El nombre de una era Orfa y el nombre de la otra Ruth.
Ajá.
Y habitaron allí unos 10 años.
Okay. So ellos vivieron ahí en la tierra de Moab 10 años. Okay. Y ustedes pueden leer más después lo que ocurrió cuando ella terminó casándose con Boaz. Boaz era de tribu de Judá. Y ya Israel sabía y tenía entendimiento que no se podía casarse con otra mujer o otra persona de otra nacionalidad, otra etnicidad, ¿verdad? No se podía casarse con otra raza. Moab, right? Son los chinos. Ruth no era china. Era Israel que nació o vivió allá 10 años. Es como expliqué, si un hermano que es jamaiquino o boricua y se casa con una cubana, así misma la van a llamar cubana, right? Porque ella es de los cubanos. O imagínate, ella es del tribu de Manase, pero que nació en Rusia. Right? A ella la van a llamar rusa porque ella nació allá. Right? Y aunque venga hablando como una de esa gente, pero conociendo el país de ella, right? O sea, se sabe que es un nativo de Cuba. Pum. Nació en Rusia, pero ella es una hermana. Es el mismo con Ruth. Ruth era una china. El error que todo el mundo, por no tener entendimiento, es que llaman y dicen que ella era de Moab y no era. Ahora, hold on. Let me give you some examples. What's the brother name? I.S.U.P.K, help me with this. There was a brother that served under, I want to say, King David, but he was called by a different nation.
Sir. Give me 1 second.
He was called by a different nation, but he was an Israelite.
So, like you said, was it Abner?
Abner. What did it say about him?
Just that he was the captain of his youth. The captain of the host, I mean, sorry.
Say that one more time. The captain of what?
Of David's host, of his armies.
Okay. Uriah, that's his name. Uriah. 2 Samuel 1. Segundo Samuel, vamos a leerlo en español primero. Right? Segundo Samuel 11:3, Magán.
Claro. Segunda de Samuel, capítulo 11, versículo 3. Envió David a preguntar por aquella mujer y le dijeron, aquella es Betsabé, hija de Eliam, mujer de Urías Eteo.
¿Mujer de qué?
Urías Eteo.
Right? ¿Qué? Urías, right? Ahora, 11:3, segundo Samuel 11:3, ¿verdad? Envió David a preguntar por aquella mujer, ¿verdad? Porque ¿qué sucedió? Que hubo un tiempo donde David estaba en el techo de su o rufo de su casa y viendo a cruzar, vio la esposa de Uriel, right? Así se pronuncia el nombre de él. Am I saying it right?
Urías.
De Urías, right? Viendo la desnudez de la mujer de Urías, ¿ok? Y obviamente entró Satanás y, anyway, cuento corto que él terminó acostándose con mujer ajena de otro hermano, right? Pero, ¿qué dice de Urías? Right? Dice, envió David a preguntar por aquella mujer y le dijeron, aquella es Betsabe, hija de Eliam, mujer de Urías Eteo. Right? Eteo son quién, Magán.
Esos son israelitas.
No.
¿No?
Eteos no son israelitas.
No sé.
En inglés es Hittites. Hittites, right? Los eteos son africanos.
Oh, wow.
Uno de los tribus entre los hijos de Ham. ¿Ok? Pero Urías, eteo, ¿él era africano o no? No, he wasn't. ¿Ok? Este es otro instante. Ru y Urías no son los únicos instantes donde llamaban israelitas por otra nacionalidad. ¿Ok? Urías era un hermano, era israelita, pero que o nació entre los eteos o vivió tanto y tanto que lo pusieron como un eteo también. ¿Ok? Y no era el primer instante, como dije, habían varios instantes que llamaban hermanos por otra nacionalidad. Había otro. Ajá.
Entonces él era israelita.
Right.
Sería como Pablo.
Right, como Pablo, ¿verdad?
Claro.
Pablo era romano, right?
Uh-huh.
Pablo era romano, pero no era romano. ¿Me entiendes?
Claro. Yeah.
Right? Tito dice que él era griego, right? Pero él no era griego. Tito era que vivía o nació entre los griegos, ¿ok? Simplemente busca la historia de los helenistas, ¿ok? Es más, Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Hold on, let me read it. So, just for those that are listening in English, we went to 2 Samuel to show another instance, right? 2 Samuel 11:3. And David sent and inquired after the woman, right? That woman was talking about Uriah's wife, but Bathsheba, right? Who, when David was on his roof, right, looked across and see this sister nakedness while she was taking the bath, and of course got into his feelings and let Satan convince him that he needed to take this woman and have sex, right? Which was a sin, and that's why the Lord punished David for that. You know what I'm saying? But it said that Uriah the Hittite wife, all right, the wife of Uriah the Hittite. Now Uriah was not an African; he wasn't of the Hittite people, right? He was an Israelite who either was born or lived so long from his youth around these Africans that they called him by that. It's not the first time. Titus, they called him the Greek, right? He was a Greek, but he wasn't a Greek. You know what I'm saying? He was an Israelite who was born or was raised around the Greeks. All you got to do is read the history of the Hellenists, right? So I'm going to go in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary and just read it, right? Before you, anybody got the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary?
Karawankan.
All right, so let me see who said Khan. So Wap, you got it, or who else? What about you, Quanta? You got it? Okay, I want you to look for. I'll just look for Greece or Greek. Right, I'm trying to find them. I'm gonna tell you. Of course, you know you got these Christians using on TikTok 8607 says so. God has no issues with race. What God has an issue with is with the crimes these other races committed against his chosen people. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? So if God hate a nation, there's a reason why he hate a nation. Romans 9:13 said, for as it is written, Jacob have I loved, Esau and Esau have I hated. The Most High, Paul quoting the scripture from Malachi 1 and 2 and 3, right? Paul quoting the scripture, letting people know at the time, which is still reflected today, that the Most High hates Esau. Who's Esau? You call them today the oppressor or Europeans, right? So-called European, so-called Caucasian, right? God said he hate them. And why do he hate them? Because of his blonde hair, blue eyes? Because of the crimes. When you read Obadiah 1 and 10, Ezekiel 35, it's because he committed against the children of Israel. What crimes? Lynchings, putting these on the Israelites' necks, even today. Don't shoot, can't, all that. Like Esau love and hate killing Israelites. They love to kill Israelites and hate Israelites at the same time. You know what I mean? You got it, Quatazar?
Karawankan.
Go ahead, read it.
Grecia is Greece, the home of the Hellenes.
Right?
Greeks.
So it says Grecia, hold on. Grecia is Greece, the home of the Hellenists. Go ahead.
Greeks and Grecians, however, are to be distinguished.
Right? So Greeks and Grecians, however, are to be distinguished, meaning that there's a difference between a Grecian and a Greek. Keep going.
Greeks are generally those of Hellenic race.
Right? Greeks? What?
Greeks, Salakia. Greeks are generally those of Hellenic race.
Right? Hellenic race, right? That's what it say, right? Keep going. Let me see what it is. Right? So I believe the info in the Zondervan, there's the word Helen also. So let's look for it, right? Letting us know there's a distinction between Greeks and Grecians, right? It says Greeks are generally Hellenists, right? Right. So now, if you turn to page, bear with me. Page 223, and look under Hellenists. Aquatazar, page 223. Right, you see a picture of a city up there. It says a view of Hebron, but on the right panel, under the word hell, you see Hellenists.
Yes, Karawan Khan.
Read it.
Hellenists, Jews who made Greek their tongue.
What?
Jews who made Greek their tongue.
Jews who made Greek their tongue. Titus was a what?
Titus was a Greek.
Okay, but what really was he?
Oh, he was a Jew. I don't want.
There you go. There you go. Titus was not a white man. Titus was either the tribe of Judah, or they don't really specific. I haven't seen the tribe, but he was either one of the tribes of Israel, being Black, Latino, or Native Indian. Okay, it was more than likely it might have been, but not totally. Either from Judah, Benjamin, or Levi. And the reason why I say not totally, because we know Anna, her father, still was in Israel. They were from the tribe of Asher, who are the natives from Colombia to Uruguay. Okay? And some of them might have started looking like Judah, Benjamin, or Levi. You know what I mean? So, of course, keeping it within Israel. All right? So everybody get the picture, right? Ruth was not a heathen. Ruth was a sister. Titus was a sister. Paul was a brother. You know, Uriah was a brother. There's plenty of scriptures where they name Israelites at the different nationalities. So what?
Yeah, Cornelius was another one.
There you go. But here's the thing, right? People tend to forget this total thing, right? You Christians out there, los cristianos, cuando lee Hechos capítulo 10, pull it. Let's since we're talking about it.
I got it on hand, sir.
Okay, I want to give if you could, Officer Yarad, that scripture so he can read it in Spanish.
Kanaron Khan.
Hechos, Acts, the 10th chapter.
So, like, sir, Acts. You want me to read it in Spanish? Acts 10.
Please.
Come, sir.
I'm gonna tell you what verse. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, 10 and 1.
In English or in Spanish?
Hold on, yeah. I want you to read it in Spanish, but I also want Acts 2 and 5. Somebody else grab it in Spanish. First, we're gonna read in Spanish Acts 10 and 1 and 2. Whenever you're ready, you're right.
So I got Acts chapter 10 and verse 1, you said, or verse 2 now.
Yes. Hechos 1 Hechos 10:1 y 10:2. Go ahead.
Okay. Este es el libro de Hechos, capítulo 10, versículo 1.
La cucharada teológica. Just simply hit the guest button and ask for the invite, and I'll let you up. That's all you got to do. Continue. Go ahead. Select it.
No, sir. Hechos, capítulo 10, versículo 1 y versículo 2. Dice, había en Cesarea, un hombre llamado Cornelio, centurión de la compañía llamada la Italiana.
Ok, perfecto. Había en Cesarea un hombre llamado Cornelio, centurión de la compañía llamada la Italiana. Pregunto. En la República, ¿qué raza era Cornelio?
Capitán, dice que era italiano.
Ok. Honduras, hombre joven en Honduras. ¿Qué raza era Cornelio?
Israelita.
That's the answer you should have gave. Israelita. no era italiano, porque la única parte de italiano que dice ahí, o la italiana, era la compañía llamada La Italiana. ¿Ok? Y esa es la equivocación de todo el mundo, right? I'm going to read it in English real quick, right? So Acts 10:1 say, there was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band, right? So cuando todo el mundo lee ese precepto, when everybody reads that off the break, it was an Italian, que Cornelio era italiano, pero eso es para que vea que la gente no está pendiente a veces al contexto de lo que están leyendo, porque en ninguna parte dijo que Cornelio era un italiano, sino dijo que era de la compañía llamada La Italiana, que es una compañía, el ejército romano. Cornelio era un soldado en el ejército romano en esa época. So this is the problem with a lot of Christians. You Christians read this precept and off the break thinking that Cornelius was an Italian. It don't say nothing about him being an Italian, but he was a centurion of the band called the Italian band, meaning the only thing Italian was the army platoon that he served in that was called the Italian band. What is a band? It's an army. It's a platoon within a military structure. Cornelius was not an Italian, but he served in the Italian band. Read verse 2 you're right in Spanish.
Yes, sir. Hechos, capítulo 10, versículo 2. Dice, piadoso y temoroso de Dios con toda su casa.
Esa palabra piadoso es la palabra de clave, right? Piadoso. Recuerda la palabra. Hechos 2:5. ¿Quién la tiene? ¿Cuánto es in Spanish?
Khan. You want it in English or Spanish, sir?
Spanish.
Este libro de Hechos, capítulo 2, versículo 5. Moraban entonces en Jerusalén judíos, varones piadosos.
¿Varones qué?
Piadosos.
Estos varones piadosos, ¿quién eran ellos? Oh. Varones piadosos, ¿verdad? Moraban empiézalo de nuevo.
Moraban entonces en Jerusalén judíos.
Ok, so, local, Jerusalén. Habían judíos. Continúa.
Varones piadosos.
Maganamad. Estos varones piadosos eran quién?
Claro que ellos eran los judíos que seguían.
¿Eran qué?
Eran judíos que seguían las leyes.
Right there. Eran judíos. Estos varones piadosos eran judíos. Right? Ahora, regresa Hechos 10 y 2. You're right. I think he froze up. Did you? You're right. Hechos 10 y 2.
Sí, señor. Capítulo 2. Hechos 10 y 2. Dice, piadoso y temoroso de Dios con toda su casa.
Ahora, para ahí.
Hacía mucho.
Para ahí, hold on, stop. You're right. ¿De qué nacionalidad era Cornelio?
Israelite.
Era Spanish. Israelita, right? Judío. Right?
Sí. Judío.
Cornelio no era italiano, él era israelita, ¿ok? Los hombres piadosos son israelitas, ¿ok? Que sirven, guardan mandamientos, viven concuerdo a lo que dice la ley. Cornelio sí, el error de él fue que sirvió en la banda llamada, o la compañía llamada La Italiana, pero como quiera, él tenía temor al Señor. ¿Ok? Ahora, rápido voy a hacerlo. Acts 10 and 1 for those that are on TikTok. So what? Can you hear me?
What do you need?
10 and 1 and 10. Yeah, Acts 10 and 1 and 10 and 2 and Quatazar. You get, Quatazar. You are a young man in the Dominican Republic. I want you to get Acts 2 and 5. So that way you can read that when I need you to. All right, so Acts. Right, go ahead.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 10, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian Band.
Right, so Cornelius was a centurion in the band called the Italian. He was a military man who served in the Italian military. Keep going.
Verse 2, a devout man.
A what?
A devout man.
Now, young man in the Dominican Republic, give me Acts 2 and 5.
Capitán, todavía estoy mejorando en la lectura en español.
I got you. No sweat.
Y todavía estoy, pero pronto.
I got you. Just leave it at that. Quatazar.
Okay.
Acts 2 and 5.
Acts chapter 2, verse 5.
Go ahead.
And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of devout men.
Okay, so now we have in Jerusalem, you had Jews that were devout men, right? So these devout men was what? Jews, Israelites, right? So what is said about Cornelius in Acts 10 and 2? So what?
A devout man.
A devout man. So now everybody sees that Cornelius was not an Italian, like the way a lot of you Christians want to call Cornelius an Italian. No, he wasn't. He was a black man who was in the Roman military. Because a lot of you don't even understand that Israelites are either black, Latino, Native Indians. And at the given time, when the other 9.5 tribes was in this part of the planet, right? The other 3, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and you did have some of the other 9.5 tribes who still were out there. They weren't much, but you still had some of them over there. And at this time, when Rome conquered everything, Cornelius served in the military. But nonetheless, he was a man and feared the Lord. You know what I mean? So he was a brother who, although he served in the Italian military, his priority was to serve the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And one thing you understand while you're in the truth, there will be brothers who, because of before the truth, are in the military right now. And they got to do their time. You know what I'm saying? Because they signed that contract. But they checking in class. They taking all the notes. You know what I'm saying? They're getting strong. Some of them have become officers. You understand? Devout. You them and reverential attention in God, to God and religious exercise. I'm gonna deal with that later. Hold on. Sorry, keep talking. All right. So you understand that can happen. You know what I'm saying? Now, we shouldn't join the military because it's not, unless it's for us, unless we have our own military, it's a whole different story. We're oppressed people. We're in captivity. We don't have our own military, number one. We clearly see that. You know what I'm saying? We're the most oppressed in this society. You know what I'm saying? And you know what's the sad part? Because of Christianity and the myth of love who you love, you think you're American and you think that you can always be part of this society. I got news for you. It's going to be in a thermonuclear blast when the time comes, as so say the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? The kingdoms throughout the whole earth are going to be taken down by force when Christ comes back. Now is the time in 2022, seeing the monkeypox grow as it may. You know what I'm saying? And 90%, that's the crazy part. 90% of our brothers and sisters who are living that rainbow lifestyle, that's what I'm going to call it from now on, the rainbow life, right? 90% Black and Latinos are the ones who are contracting the monkeypox. And this is statistically proven. So you can imagine all the brothers and sisters, all the brothers that are doing this with their hands, or the sisters that are walking like they got more sack than a man. You're gonna catch that monkeypox, because monkeypox is today's AIDS. You remember back in the day? You remember back in the day when in the late 70s and early 80s, when everybody was scared and everybody knew it came from those guys. But then here's the thing, because Israel sinned, now we jump from them to regular straight. Guess what? Now you go to church, and if you see somebody in the choir singing like this with their hand like this, like little butterflies, you're gonna have to be like, yo, brother, salute them from far away, just stay up there. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I don't want to talk to you right now, because hey, they saying that even them touching something and you touching it behind it, you're gonna get that monkeypox. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm gonna pull out the history real quick, the history of AIDS, right? And this is for those that don't know it, right? The history of AIDS epidemic, right? So, of course, I'm gonna have to translate it, right? Let me see. Just bear with me, right? Let me get some translation, right? All right. So, para que a ustedes que solamente hablan español, ¿verdad? Estamos hablando ahora mismo la historia de la SIDA, ¿verdad? O ¿cómo es, Morgan? HIV en español,
eso mismo, SIDA.
La misma SIDA, right?
Right? SIDA.
Entonces, si te recuerdas, en aquellos entonces, en los fines del año 70 y al principio, no shade of pops. Ok. En aquel entonces, en los fines de años 70 y principios de los años 80, todo el mundo, la planeta estaba en pánico, ¿verdad? Alerta amarillo, alerta china, lo que sea, porque esta enfermedad, donde quiera, en aquel entonces Willie Colon cantó El Gran Varón, right? Cantando sobre Simón, right? Y Don Andrés tenía un varón que terminó con Francesca, you know, y Francesca le puso un nombre Francesca, pero Simón murió de la SIDA, okay? Y, you know, anyway, vamos a leer un poquito de la historia de la SIDA, right? So esta parte yo lo voy a poner obviamente en pantalla para, you know, rápido leerla. Entonces, después que leemos, vamos a buscar un par de preceptos, ¿ok? So, Wap, if you could, I want you to go to the Apocrypha and just type in the word plague.
All
right. You're right. If you could, Matthew 24. And I'll tell you what verse, right? Magan, Mateo 24, yo te voy a decir el versículo. ¿Ok? Entonces, para ustedes cristianos, right? Now, let me say what I'm going to say. I'm going to read now in Spanish, but I'm going to come back and read in English some of the history of HIV and how it parallels today's monkeypox. Because right now, the whole goddamn planet Earth is on red alert because of the monkeypox. You know what I'm saying? Not because of the monkeypox. Like, you know, 90% of Latinos and Black people who are Israelites are the ones, we're talking statistically speaking, 90% in who's living the rainbow lifestyle. You know what you are, your pronouns, right? You know who you are. 90% 90% are the ones who's catching these monkeypox. And this is from one of the oppressor who is living that lifestyle, and it's on video. He gave a description of the pain of what it feels like when you have monkeypox. The way he described it, he said it felt like he was sitting on broken shards of glass, just poking him all the time. So now you can imagine that's very painful. You could imagine that devil was suffering that. But you know what's even crazier? That 90% of Black and Latinos are the main ones catching this deadly disease. And you know why? Can anybody tell me why 90% of Black and Latinos are the main ones catching this disease? Let me start with young man in Honduras.
The lifestyle that they're living.
Say that again?
The lifestyle that they're living, homosexual and all that kind of stuff.
I didn't understand. Can you repeat that just a little bit louder?
The lifestyle that they're living, the homosexuality and all those things.
That is true, the lifestyle that they are living, but why? Let me try somebody else. Let me try young man in Honduras. Why is it mainly, right? And this is statistically speaking. And anybody on TikTok, if y'all can answer that question, go ahead. 90% of Blacks and Latinos who live in the rainbow lifestyle in your pronouns, why is it that they're the main ones catching this disease, young man in the Dominican Republic? Dominican Republic, go ahead.
Okay. I think, what I would say is because they envy the oppressor's ways and they just want to be homosexuals, just follow their ways.
Okay, we already know that they're like that, but that's not what I was looking for, but good try. Quatazak.
Because God only cares about Blacks and Hispanics?
There you go. That's why. Because he gave us the law, statutes, and commandments. Now, let me show it to you in the Bible, shall we? Somebody gave me Psalms 147, verse 19 and 20. I'm going to show it to you in the Bible. Somebody else gave me Amos 3 and 1. Matter of fact, give me Amos 3 and 1 first. Officer Uriah, give me Amos 3 and 1 first. I'm going to show it to you. As the brother said, the reason why Blacks and Latinos are first ones and the most that is getting it, God's chosen people. And since we breaking his laws, statutes, and commandments, he's punishing us and severely for not listening to what he tells us. So, of course, we hard-headed. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to follow through. Well, God got, just like a father. If you got children, you have to understand this. If you got children, you tell your kids, yo, when you wake up in the morning, you start school at 7 a.m. You got to know to get up at least at 6 a.m. Make your bed, brush your teeth. If you got to shower, go shower, right? Eat your breakfast, and then let's go to school. That's the rule and regulation when it comes to school time. Now, let's say your kid don't get up. I'm going to wake up at 6:50. Give them a break the first time, and then tell them again the second time. On that third time, you're going to whoop that behind. But the Most High was merciful with us, long-suffering with us, told us to change, send out his prophets. And yet, Israelites, Blacks and Latinos, we hard-headed. We didn't care about what God said. We wanted to do what the hell we wanted to say. Just like any father, you want to do what you think you want to do. All right, I got something for that. And here you go. You in the rainbow lifestyle under your pronouns. He giving you the monkeypox. Now, somebody, whoever got Amos 3 and 1, please read it.
In English, Amos chapter 3, verse 1.
Right.
Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
Who he spoke against?
Children of Israel.
O children of Israel, that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel. Not to nobody else, but to you, children of Israel. You Blacks, you Latinos, you Native Indians, you are the children of Israel. God spoke against us. Why? Keep reading.
Okay. O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt,
Right?
saying,
Against the whole, hold on, against the whole family, meaning all the tribes. If you didn't know, the word tribe means family. And he said against the whole family, meaning the 12 families or the 12 tribes of Israel, because he's the one that delivers us out of the hand of the oppressor from the land of Egypt. Go ahead.
Saying, verse 2, you only have I known.
What?
You only have I known.
One more time.
You only have I known.
God said to blacks and Latinos and Native Indians, you only have I known. God don't know these other ethnicities, these other races, but he know you black, he know you West Indians, he know you Haitians, he know you Puerto Ricans, you Dominicans, you Cubans, he know you Mexicans, you brothers in Central America, you Cubanos, you South American natives. He knows you because we are the children of Israel. Continue. You only have I known. Continue.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
From all the families, meaning all the tribes that are on the face of the earth, only Israelites the Lord recognizes. Only blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians the Lord recognizes. Is there any more?
Okay. Therefore, I will punish you.
What?
For all your, I will punish you.
Hold on. Therefore what?
Therefore, I will punish you.
What? Repeat that again.
Therefore, I will punish you.
Right? Out of all the families of the earth, the Lord only knows Israelites. And therefore, he's punishing us. Keep going.
Okay. For all your iniquities.
For all your what?
Your iniquities.
For all your iniquities. Iniquities are our sins, our wrongdoings against him and his laws. That's why we're getting punished. That's why we in slavery. That's why we speak English, Spanish, patois, whatever the hell language that we find ourselves in, because of disobeying God. Is there any more?
Sir.
Now, Psalms 147, 19 and 20. Who asked to read that?
I have it, sir.
Go ahead.
The book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19.
Go ahead.
He showed his word unto Jacob.
He showed his word unto who?
Unto Jacob.
Jacob, meaning the household of Jacob. Keep going.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Right? His statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Meaning, once again, the household or the 12 sons, which make up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. The Most High showed us his statutes and what?
And his judgments.
And his
Israel.
judgments. Where you find those statutes and judgments? In the scriptures. Only to Israel. Keep going.
Verse 20. He hath not dealt so with any nation.
What?
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
Read that one more time for the good Christians out there that say, God love everybody. Read that line again.
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
That's plain and clear. God ain't dealt so with any other nation except Israel. Go ahead.
And as for his judgments, they have not known them.
And as for God's judgments, they don't know them. You know what I'm saying? God only dealing with black, Latinos, and Native Indians. Point blank, plain and simple. And guess what? Just like the scripture say, that which proceeded out of my mouth shall not return to me void. God said that in the scripture. And when he said he only dealing with Israelites, you best believe he mean it. He ain't dealing with no other nation. He might use another nation to set an example so that way us Israelites can see, okay, I see how they dying over there because of the war. Most High could get mad at us and make that happen here in our community. You know what I'm saying? I see how, they doing this and that, or how the tsunamis came and took away 250,000 people, or the tornadoes that run through Latin America and wipe, causing massive damage. Like God could do that in the Bronx if you want to. God could do that in Connecticut. God could do that in any borough in New York City, in Detroit, in Chicago, if you want to. The power was in. Like he can literally destroy our communities as well. But we need to pay attention to what's in these scriptures. Like understand it from here on in. And don't play yourself. When anything happened to Israel, it's because the Lord punishing us for our iniquity. We just learned it, Amos 3:1. Now, with that being said, now let me continue reading the little quick history in Spanish, ¿verdad? Just in case, Morgan, rápido, si me puede buscar a Amós, capítulo 3:1. Y mientras tanto, yo voy a leer rápido para avanzar. Este Salmo 147, versículos 19 y 20. Léete Amós 3:1. ¿La tiene?
Cáncer. Amos capítulo 3 y versículo 1.
Ajá.
Bien. Oíd esta palabra que ha hablado el Señor contra vosotros.
Ajá.
Hijos de Israel.
Right? So, el Señor está hablando en contra de los hijos de Israel. Como le dije, moreno, latino, indio, nativo. La nación de Israel. Continúa.
Cáncer. Contra toda la familia que hice subir de la tierra de Egipto.
Right? Contra toda la familia. La palabra tribu significa familia. Y cuando digo contra toda la familia, está refiriendo a las 12 tribus de Israel. Continúa.
Dice así. Versículo 2. A vosotros solamente he conocido.
¿Qué?
A vosotros solamente he conocido.
A vosotros solamente he conocido. Eso es exclusivo. Ahí no incluye nada más excepto la nación de Israel. Solamente a la nación de Israel el Señor conoce o reconoce. Él no reconoce ninguna otra nación, excepto los morenos, los latinos, los indios nativos. Nadie más. Continúa.
De todas las familias de la tierra.
¿Qué?
De todas las familias de la tierra.
De todas las familias de la tierra. So, el Señor no reconoce ningún otro raza. Familias, otros tribus, excepto nosotros. Continúa.
Por tanto, os castigaré por todas vuestras maldades.
¿Qué?
Os castigaré por todas vuestras maldades.
Ahora tenemos entendimiento de la razón por qué aquello y lo otro está sucediendo en un comentario. Por no obedecer al Señor. Y pues, como un buen padre que le dice aquello y lo otro a los hijos y no quieren hacer caso, pues ahí está el correazo, porque eso es lo que merecemos por desobediencia. Punto y coma. Ahora, déjalo ahí. Voy a leer Salmo 147, versículos 19 y 20. Salmo 147 y 19 dice, ha manifestado su palabra a Jacob. Jacob es el padre de los 12 tribus de Israel. Sus estatutos, que son las leyes, y sus juicios a Israel. 20 dice, no ha hecho así con ninguna otra de las naciones. Y en cuanto a sus juicios, no los conocieron. Punto y coma. Las leyes que están en la Biblia no fue hecho para ninguna otra nación excepto Israel. Punto y coma. El que no le guste, ¿verdad? El que no le guste, pues que toma limón y aprende a hacer limonada. Punto y coma, ¿eh? Móndate esa, ¿cómo es? Móndate esa que viene la otra, ¿eh?
Chúpate esa, lo que te mundo la otra.
Ahí está. El que no le gusta. Que escucha a todos los pastores en Latinoamérica, todas las pastoras, nuestros hermanos que están en la arena política, ¿verdad? Que ayudar. con ustedes porque ustedes son un fallo. Anyway, vamos con leyendo parte de la historia de la SIDA. Científicos los científicos creen que el VIH provino originalmente de un virus particular de los chimpancés en África. Hold up. Ellos creen que viene de una enfermedad de los chimpancés. Right? ¿Y los chimpancés son qué? Monos, right? Right? I'm going to read that in English now, right? Just to keep it going. This is the history of HIV or AIDS. Scientists believe that HIV originally came from a virus particular to chimpanzees, particular de los chimpancéses en África Occidental, en West Africa, ¿verdad? Durante la década del año 1930 y originalmente se transmitió a los humanos a través de la transferencia de sangre a través de la casa, right? De la casa es cazando. A lo largo de la década, el virus se propagó por África y por otra parte del mundo. Sin embargo, no fue sino hasta principios de la década de los años 1980 cuando se informó a los médicos sobre tipos raros de neumonía, cáncer y otras enfermedades que el mundo se dio cuenta de la existencia de VIH. Okay, so now back in English. Scientists believe that HIV originally came from a virus particular to chimpanzees in West Africa during the 1930s and originally transmitted to humans through the transfer of blood through hunting. Over the decades, the virus spread through Africa and to other parts of the world. It wasn't until the early 1980s, a rare type of pneumonia, cancer, and other illnesses were being reported to doctors that the world became aware of HIV. Okay, so now we see where's that going. So now, hold on, let me get some more. Beware of HIV and AIDS, right? Hold on, I forgot to put this part in there. All right, so of HIV and AIDS. This timeline highlights some of the major events and discoveries of HIV and AIDS since this time, right? Esta cronología destaca algunos de los principios, acontecimientos y descubrimientos sobre el VIH y el SIDA desde ese momento, right? So now, hold on. So esto fue el descubrimiento del año 1981. Es más, voy a ponerle en 1900. Hold on, let me just do it like that. Okay, let me salir de esta. Entonces, leyendo en inglés, el descubrimiento en los Estados Unidos comienza la notificación de tasas inusualmente altas de formas raras de neumonía y cáncer en hombres jóvenes homosexuales. Inicialmente la enfermedad se domina inmunodeficiencia relacionada con los gays, right? Porque se cree que solo afecta a los hombres homosexuales. También se notifican que casos en usuarios de drogas inyectables a fines de los años. En inglés, the discovery. Adon says, don't know what you're saying, Captain, but it sounds good. All praises. Hey, I'm gonna come back in English, Adon. We're talking about the history of AIDS right now. So it says the discovery in the U.S. reporting of unusually high rates of rare forms of pneumonia and cancer in young gay men begins. The disease is initially called gay-related immune deficiency, or GRID for short, because it is thought that it only cases are also reported in injection drug users by the end of the year. All right. So now let me get some more. First case of AIDS, right? This is in 1982. Esto para el año 1982, right? So dice, el primer caso de SIDA, la enfermedad pasa a llamarse síndrome de inmunodeficiencia adquirida, SIDA en otra palabra. Canadá reporta su primer caso de SIDA en marzo. Se sabe que la infección puede ser de transmisión sexual y causada por el VIH. Se reportan casos en receptores de transfusión de sangre. So in English, the first case of AIDS, the disease is renamed Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome, AIDS for short. Canada reports its first case of AIDS in March. It realizes that the infection can be sexually transmitted and caused by HIV. Cases are reported in blood transfusion patients. Okay. Now hold on. This is the first conferences of AIDS. Anyway, I'm gonna just I'm gonna share the link with everybody. Y'all can read it after the fact. Okay. But this is in 1983 now. What happened? Okay. The first conference of AIDS, the first international conference of AIDS, is held in Georgia, USA. The first Canadian conference on AIDS is held in Montreal. La primera jornada sobre el SIDA, la primera confederación internacional sobre el SIDA se lleva a cabo en Georgia, Estados Unidos. La primera conferencia canadiense sobre el SIDA se lleva a cabo en Montreal. Okay. So now let me see something. Let me get something a little bit more compact. Okay. Let me see. Let's get this one here. So now this is according to the History Channel, right? It's not giving me much. Okay. So we got the timelines, right? So let me just give you a sum up of everything. En las décadas 80 y 90, el brote del VIH y SIDA se extendió por los Estados Unidos y el resto del mundo, aunque la enfermedad se originó décadas antes. Hoy más de 70 millones de personas se han infectado con el VIH y alrededor de 35 millones han muerto a causa del SIDA desde el comienzo de la pandemia, según la Organización Mundial de la Salud, OMS. In the 1980s and the 90s, the outbreak of HIV and AIDS swept across the United States and the rest of the world. Though the disease originated decades earlier. Today, more than 70 million people have been infected with HIV, and about 35 million have died from AIDS since the start of the pandemic, according to the World Health Organization, or WHO for short. All right. So just a little brief of what is HIV, just a little short, right? Short just a little briefness, so those that don't know. So I'm gonna read it first in Spanish, right? ¿Qué es VIH? El virus de la inmunodeficiencia. Un virus que ataca al sistema inmunitario, en concreto a las células CD4 o células T. El virus se transmite a través de fluidos corporales como sangre, semen, fluidos vaginales, fluidos anales y leche materna. Históricamente, el VIH se ha propagado con mayor frecuencia a través de las relaciones sexuales sin protección, el uso compartido de agujas para el uso de drogas y el nacimiento. En el tiempo, el VIH puede destruir tantas células CD4 en el cuerpo, que el cuerpo no puede combatir infecciones y enfermedades. lo que eventualmente lleva a la forma más grave de la infección por el VIH. El síndrome de inmunodeficiencia adquirida o SIDA. Una persona con SIDA es muy cáncer, ya infecciones potencialmente mortales como la neumonía. Aunque no existe una cura para la VIH o el SIDA, una persona con VIH que recibe tratamiento en temprano puede vivir casi tanto como alguien sin el virus. Y un estudio en el año 2019 en la revista médica Lancet mostró que un tratamiento antiviral detuvo efectivamente la propagación de VIH. So in English, real quick, it says, what is HIV? Okay, this is for those that don't know. I know a lot of people are familiar with it, but for those that don't know, it says the human immunodeficiency virus, or HIV, is a virus that attacks the immune system, specifically CD4 cells or T cells. In other words, the virus is transmitted through body fluids such as blood, semen, vaginal fluids, anal fluids, and breast milk. Historically, HIV has most often been spread through unprotected sex, a sharing of needles for drug use, and through birth. Over time, HIV can destroy so many CD4 cells that the body can't fight diseases, eventually leading to the most severe form of an HIV infection, acquired immune deficiency syndrome, or AIDS, right? That's what it's called. A person with AIDS is very vulnerable to cancer and to life-threatening infections such as pneumonia. Though there is no cure for HIV or AIDS, a person with HIV who receives treatment early can live nearly as long as someone without the virus. And a study in 2019 in the medical journal Lancet showed that an antiviral treatment effectively halted the spread of HIV. So that's a brief history on HIV. Esto es un cuento o la historia breve sobre the VIH. Okay, now this is what I need. I need to find what is monkeypox, right? All right. So now this is coming directamente del gobierno, right? Sobre monkeypox, right? Y esto fue actualizada el 22 de julio del año 2022. Ok, so vamos a trasladar todo esto a español para yo rápido leerla. Acerca de la viruela del mono, ¿verdad? Actualizado el 22 de julio del año 2022. Right? La viruela del simio es una enfermedad rara causada por la infección con el virus de la viruela del simio. El virus de la viruela del mono es parte de la misma familia de virus que el virus de la viruela. El virus que causa la viruela, los síntomas de la viruela del mono son similares a la viruela del mono, pero más leves. Y la viruela del mono rara es mortal. La viruela del mono no está relacionada con la varicela. La viruela del mono se descubrió en el año 1958. Mira que eso, ellos saben de esto desde aquel entonces, cuando ocurrieron 2 brotes de una enfermedad similar a la viruela en colonias de monos mantenidos para investigación. A pesar de ser llamado viruela del mono, la fuente de la enfermedad sigue siendo desconocida. Sin embargo, los roedores africanos y los primates no humanos como los monos pueden albergar el virus e infectar a las personas. El primer caso humano de la viruela del simio se registró en el año 1970. Antes del brote de 2022 se había informado sobre la viruela del simio en personas de varios países de África Central y Occidental. Anteriormente, casi todos los casos de viruela del simio en personas fuera de África estaban relacionados con viajes internacionales al país donde la enfermedad ocurrió comúnmente o a través de animales importados. Estos casos ocurrieron en múltiples continentes. Okay, so now in English, about monkeypox. Monkeypox is a rare disease caused by infection with the monkeypox virus. The monkeypox virus is part of the same family of viruses or variola virus, as variola virus, the virus that causes smallpox. Monkeypox symptoms are similar to smallpox symptoms, but milder. No sweat, Adan. And monkeypox is rarely fatal. Monkeypox is not related to chickenpox. Monkeypox was discovered in the year 1958 when 2 outbreaks of a pox-like disease occurred in colonies of monkeys kept for research. Despite being named monkeypox, the source of the disease remains unknown. Sounds fishy to me. However, African rodents and non-human primates like monkeys may harbor the virus and infect people. The first human case of monkeypox was recorded in 1970. Prior to the outbreak in 2022, monkeypox had been reported in people in several Central and West African countries. Previously, almost all monkeypox cases in people outside of Africa were linked to international travel to countries where the disease commonly occurs or through imported animals. These cases occurred on multiple continents, right? So, all right, let me see signs and symptoms. Okay, I'm going to read how it spreads, okay? So voy a leer cómo uno se contamina, okay? So that way everybody understands. All right. I'm going to read it as fast as I can. All right, so la viruela de mono se propaga de varias maneras. La viruela de simio se puede propagar a cualquier persona a través del contacto de personas cercanos, a menudo de piel a piel, que incluye contacto directo con sarpullido de viruela de simio, costras o fluidos corporales de una persona con viruela del simio, tocar objetos, telas, ropa o ropa de cama o toallas, el superficie que han sido utilizadas para alguien con viruela del simio, contacto con secreciones respiratorias. Este contacto puede ocurrir durante el contacto íntimo, incluyendo sexo oral, anal, vaginal o tocar genitales como el pene, testículos, labios y vagina, o el ano, orificio del ano, de una persona con viruela con viruela del simio. Abrazos, masajes y besos. Contacto cara a cara prolongada, tocar tela o objetos durante las relaciones sexuales que fueron utilizados por una persona que tiene el virus. What's up? Just give me, you didn't turn. I did. Well, what about the small lamp? Is it on? The small lamp? Yeah, it's a black lamp. Is it turned on? So you fine. I'm almost done. He's interrupting my class. Go. Thank you. All right. Mala mía. Tocar telas o objetos durante las relaciones sexuales que fueron utilizados por una persona con viruela del simio y que no han sido desinfectados, como ropa de cama, toalla, artículos fetichistas y juguetes sexuales. Rayo. Están clavados, Magán. Una persona embarazada puede transmitir el virus a su feto a través de la placenta. Diantre. También es posible que las personas contraigan la viruela de simio de animales infectados, hasta los animales, rayo. Ya sea a ser arañados o mordidos por el animal o al preparar o comer carne o usar productos de un animal infectado. Diantre. Una persona con viruela del simio puede transmitirla a otras desde el momento de comenzar hasta la erupción ha sido sanado por completo y ha formado una nueva capa de piel. La enfermedad suele durar de 2 a 4 semanas. Los científicos todavía están investigando si el virus se puede propagar cuando alguien no tiene síntomas. Si el virus puede propagar cuando alguien no tiene síntomas. ¿Con qué frecuencia se propaga la virus del simio? A través de las secreciones respiratorias o cuando es más probable que una persona con síntomas de viruela del simio propague el virus a través de las secreciones respiratorias. Si la viruela símica se puede propagar a través, perdón, si la viruela símica se puede propagar a través de semen o fluidos vaginales, la orina o las heces. Right? Okay, so now in English. Damn, this sounds like a nightmare right here. Monkeypox spreads in a few ways. Monkeypox can spread to anyone through close, personal, often skin-to-skin contact, including direct contact with monkeypox, rash, scabs, or body fluids from a person with monkeypox, touching objects, fabrics such as clothing, bedding, and towels, and surfaces that have been used by someone with monkeypox. Contact with respiratory secretions. This direct contact can happen during intimate contact, including oral, anal, and vaginal sex, or touching the genitals, such as penis, testicles, labia, and vagina, and anus of a person with monkeypox. Hugging, massaging, and kissing. Damn, you can't even do that. Prolonged face-to-face contact. Touching fabrics and objects during sex that were used by a person with monkeypox and that have not been disinfected, such as bedding, towels, fetish gear, and sex toys. A pregnant woman can spread the virus to their fetus through the placenta. It is also possible for people to get monkeypox from infected animals, either by scratched or bitten by the animal, or by preparing or eating meat or using products from an infected animal. Oh, damn. That's a rough one. They spread it to others from the time the symptom starts until the rash has fully healed and a fresh layer of skin has formed. The illness typically lasts 2 to 4 weeks. Scientists are still researching if the virus can spread when someone has no symptoms, how often monkeypox is spread through respiratory secretions, or when a person with monkeypox symptoms might be more likely to spread the virus through respiratory secretions, whether the monkeypox can be spread through semen, vaginal fluids, urine, or feces. So I'm gonna leave that there. Ya todo el mundo, who's this? Hey, Maitazad, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shagata. Now, that's a rough one, yo. That's a rough one. Go ahead, Suwab.
Yeah, you told me to look for something on the Apocrypha.
Yeah.
Plagues.
Yeah.
So was it Second Maccabees?
No, not in Second Maccabees. It's you gotta look for the word plague.
I found something similar to the monkeypox, though.
In Ezra, right?
If you want, I could read a little bit of it. See if you.
Right.
If you
just
like
hold on. Let me go with Matthew's first. 24, and so that way we can get the Spanish part out. Vamos a leer Magana Mateo 24. Y vamos a empezar. Entonces, you're right. I want you to get Matthew 24. We're going to start at verse 6. Okay, Mateo 24 dice, vamos a empezar por ahí.
Claro, sí. Mateo capítulo 24, versículo 6. Y oiréis de guerras y rumores de guerras.
Right? So, entonces ahí nos está diciendo que vamos a escuchar de guerras y rumores de guerra. Obviamente lo que estamos viendo con Rusia, con la China, con Irán, esos países, ¿verdad? Eso es rumores de guerra, pero también esa guerra va a explotar a una tercera guerra mundial. Continúa.
Mirad que no os turbéis.
Mira que qué.
Que no os turbéis.
Right? Que no os turbéis. Lo que está diciendo que no se preocupan de esto. ¿Por qué? Porque como en la apócrifa dice que para salvación otra nación tiene que ser destruido, right? Para la salvación de Israel, y yo parafrasando, para la salvación de Israel otra nación tiene que ser destruido, como Egipto fue destruido para la salvación de Israel durante los días de Moisés. ¿Ok? Continúa.
Porque es necesario que todo esto acontezca.
Continúa.
Pero aún no es el fin.
So, todo esto tiene que acontecer o tiene que suceder. Todo esto, las guerras, los rumores de guerras y lo que vamos a leer después. Pero el fin no es todavía. Continúa.
Versículo 7. Porque se levantará nación contra nación.
Y las naciones se van a levantar contra nación. So, prepárese porque llegará el día donde, y cuando te dice nación contra nación, no solamente está hablando de un país, de una gente, a otra gente, sino en tu propio país. En América, los blancos literalmente van a estar en armas en contra de los morenos, los latinos, los indios nativos y quienes sea que no es blanco. Al igual que los chinos, entre nosotros también, sin saber la verdad, va a haber morenos en contra de latinos, en contra de indios nativos, por no saber la verdad. Eso va a llegar también. ¿Ok? Continúa.
Y reino contra reino.
Ya sabemos que eso es gobierno en contra gobierno. Eso es la tercera guerra mundial. Ya sucedió con la primera, la segunda, con Vietnam, con Corea, ¿verdad? Con operación tormenta de desierto, ¿verdad? Del 9/11 y todo eso. Pero la escalación es la tercera guerra mundial. Continúa.
Y habrá pestes y hambres.
Va a haber pestes y hambre, ¿verdad? Pestes son esas plagas, como viruela de simio, sida, toda esa clase de enfermedades, ¿verdad? COVID-19, etcétera, etcétera, ¿verdad? Estamos viviendo, y recuerda que esto fue cuando Cristo caminaba la tierra, ¿ok? Él no dijo esto, pero también otro profeta nos dijo eso también. ¿Ok? Continúa. Oh, y dice, ¿y qué? Y hambre, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Ahí. Ahora mismo, muchos de nosotros vamos al supermercado o los precios están altos que uno no puede comprar o que en la misma góndola no hay comida. Y va a empeorar. Para eso. Empeorar la preparación que esta organización estamos preparando, porque ya sabemos que esta profecía está ocurriendo ahora, no mañana ni ayer, está sucediendo ahora. Continúa.
Y terremotos en diferentes lugares.
¿Verdad? En lugares donde normalmente no hay terremotos, ahí va a encontrar un terremoto, siendo en el mar o en tierra. Donde normalmente no hay terremoto, eso va a suceder. Continúa, termina con el versículo 8.
Versículo 8. Y todo esto será principio de dolores.
Wow. Y todo esto será principios de dolores. Y todo esto que es principio de dolores, principio. Imagínate lo que viene en el medio. Entonces imagínate lo que viene al fin. Nosotros creemos que COVID-19 y el viruela de simio es terrible, o la sida. No hemos visto nada. Si ahora mismo en los supermercados o los precios están muy altos o no hay nada, deja que lleguemos simplemente al medio. Ya sabemos que al fin va a ser más terrible todavía. ¿Ok? Ahora, esto mismo en inglés. You're right? Start at verse 6. Matthew 24:6. Is he with me?
Go
ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6.
Yes, go ahead.
And it reads, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of ye be not troubled."
Hold on right there.
For
right
all these things must come to pass.
Hold on, brother. And you hear what Christ told us. Christ told us, "You shall hear wars and rumors of wars." Right now, we're living in a time where we see Russia attacking Ukraine, but at the same time, we're seeing China circling Taiwan, ready to invade there. We're seeing Iran that's doing this and that and the third with Russia and China, right? To strategically, which is really the Lord moving the chess pieces, right? Of a war. These are rumors of war, but they're going to manifest into real wars. You understand? Keep going.
But the end.
Hold on. You after wars.
See that ye be not troubled.
Now Christ told us, even though you're hearing the wars and rumors of wars, don't be troubled. Why? Because just like in the Apocrypha, it told us that for the salvation of Israel, another nation must be destroyed. Well, we clearly see historically and biblically, right? Biblically and historically, Egypt once upon a time oppressed the nation of Israel, enslaved the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Had a great hatred for the nation of Israel. God destroyed Egypt to save the nation of Israel. Well, that's going to happen here too. That is going to happen here too, right? God is going to destroy the empire of the Caucasian throughout the planet Earth, who is the oppressor, who is the devil that the Bible speaks of, and they're going to get destroyed. And every nation is down with them, they're going to get destroyed, as it says in Revelation 19 and 11. Salvation. That's why Christ is telling us, don't be troubled. Keep going. I'm gonna get another reader, you're right. Do me a favor, Quatazat, continue from where he left off.
Karawan Khan. For all these things must come to pass.
You know what Christ told us? All these things must come to pass, right? Wars and rumors of wars, but also the following things that we're going to read. Keep going.
But the end is not yet.
Now imagine that. Rumors of wars, and it still ain't the end. And remember, the scriptures say, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. The end is when Christ and them angels that are coming out on chariots come in the pinnacle of World War III and start to now go out through the planet Earth and conquering and destroying all the empires that are right now active that are going to be thrown down. All the thrones are going to be thrown down, as it says in the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter. Keep going.
Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation.
Right, nation against nation. Not only did this happen in World War I, World War II, right? With nation meaning a race against another race, right? Vietnam, Korea, Desert Storm, whatever, Afghanistan, so on and so forth. But also right here, you're going to have white nationalists that's going to come up against black extremists, and black extremists going to fight them, and the Latinos and Native Indians, Chinese, and all these other races. There is going to be what they call a race war here and throughout. Over here, they rephrasing the term race war for civil war. You have heard of that term, right?
They don't
want to tell you race war, but that's what it reads. Every time you hear them say civil war, that's exactly what they mean. They mean a race war. And guess what? They're preparing it. How I know that's true? Can anybody give me something recent? Go ahead, Swap.
The raiding of Trump's home?
No. I was hoping you would give it to me because it happened near you.
Oh,
go ahead.
If I can.
Go ahead.
The shooting in Buffalo.
Yeah, and did he not have a manifesto, right?
Khan.
And then they arrest somebody afterwards with trying to follow what this guy did, right? And recently they arrested somebody else trying to follow that. You know what I'm saying? They killed somebody that had a gun, killed one of those nationals because he was following that. So they preparing themselves. You know what I'm saying? Their roof went up in the church, killed some older black people up in the South Carolina church. You know what I'm saying? So they preparing that is nation against nation. That is going to happen. There's no doubt about it. Like the Christians, they can talk all that post-racial nonsense all they want. But I know what Christ said. Christ said nations shall rise against nation. Keep going.
Khan. And kingdom against kingdom.
And kingdom against kingdom is what the scriptures say. We already know it's talking about governments or countries against another country. I've already gave the examples. But now, here we got Russia. Here we got China. Here we got Iran. Soon there'll be another nation that's going to on board to side with Russia. Excuse me. What you call it? This is all in Ezekiel the 37th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. Continue.
Khan. And there shall be famines.
Stop right there. What is a famine? Famine is when there's food shortages. Right now, in America, right now, throughout other parts of the planet, are they not, or are they food shortages? Anybody can answer.
Khan.
And we see it, right? It's either the food is too pricey and we don't got the money to buy it, or literally you look on the shelves and it's empty. And guess what? Even a few weeks ago, that they prepare yourself because there's going to be great food shortages, right? I don't know if y'all was paying attention to the news. Like they already expected it. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be food shortages, and any food they have, guess what's going to happen? If you got the money, you eat tonight. If you don't, too bad. You know what I mean? That's right. That's how they're going to look at it. You know what I'm saying? If I was y'all, and if y'all could, you know what I'm saying? I know there was a list put out with Command General Hunter had one of the brothers put a list out. Get that list and start preparing. Even if it's slowly but surely, start stacking up them canned goods. Slowly but surely. You know what I'm saying? Because things aren't going to get easy right now. It'll get there later on. But right now, we got to go through these things, what Christ said. Keep going.
Khan. And pestilence.
And what are pestilence? Pestilence are not only talking about excessive bugs, excessive rodents, what have you, but it's also talking about diseases. It's also talking about AIDS and smallpox and all kinds of COVIDs and variants, Omicrons, and so on and so forth. Those are pestilence as well. Keep going.
Khan. And earthquakes.
Go ahead.
In diverse places.
And in a place where it's not normal that earthquakes will happen, now you'll hear about them too. You'll hear about earthquakes in some part of somewhere in the body of water, and you see where normally earthquake, those will start to happen. Or in places where it's not common where earthquakes happen, but it happened like it happened in D.C., Virginia, and all that. This was like about 10 years ago when I first came down here. There was an earthquake, and normally that don't happen, but it happened that day, and ever since then it hasn't happened. Don't mean it's not going to happen. Hey, it could happen tomorrow after this class. Who knows? It can happen tonight. Who knows? It could happen though, but I know what? Christ don't lie. Christ lived his life perfect, and the Lord don't lie. You know what I mean? So it can happen again. And guess what? Because the Lord said it, and so shall it be. Now let's keep going. Keep going.
Khan. Verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
All these things that we read on that list that Christ, our King, gave us, and they're all terrible. They're all, like if you're not prepared, you're going to be scared, right? Even though Christ told us not to be troubled, right? This is all the beginning. So now imagine, could you imagine what's coming in the middle? Oh, come on. Think about that. What's in the middle and then what's at the end? You know what I'm saying? What Magun's, the image he got in the back, that's in the end, right there. And by that time, everything's gone to hell. You know what I mean? But you can imagine the middle. You know what I mean? Now, if I could, the one in the Apocrypha, did you find it for me? I.S.U.P.K.
What specific one was it, sir?
Okay, let me give you a hand because I believe you did not find it.
There was a lot of plague talk in the Apocrypha.
Right, I believe it. I'm looking for the ones in Second Ezra.
Second Ezra.
What you want to look for? Look up the word victual. Right? I'll get it. And I'll tell you where to pull it up. Victual, victuals, is another way of saying food, right? So now it's Second Ezra, the 16th chapter, and I'm gonna start you off. Let me tell you exactly where to go, because you're gonna know that Ezra's, even though Christ prophesied it, Ezra's, who was alive before Christ, also saw these things because the angels showed him this. All right. I'm gonna start you all. Let me see. Yeah. Read verse 16 and 14.
Khan. This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 16, verse 14. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again.
Right? It's saying the plagues are sent and shall not return again. Remember in the book of Revelation, it's talking about the four vials. Right? Right now, I believe we're in the third vial that's broken, that's hurting the earth. In Spanish, he aquí, las plagas son enviadas y no volverán más hasta que venga sobre la tierra, right? So we're living in that time right now. Estamos viviendo en el momento ahora. Now, go from there to start at 17.
Khan. This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 16, verse 17. Woe is me.
Right? Woe meaning destruction is me. So Ezra is saying destruction to me. Keep going.
Who will deliver me in those days?
Keep going.
Verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning.
Right, hold on. Stop right there. Right? What Christ said in 24? Matthew 24. All these are the beginning of what? Sorrows, right? Yeah, everybody remember that, right? Right? Don't know you Christians ever say that what Christ taught was something totally different from the Old Testament. Because right now we all seeing in the book of Ezra, right? The second Ezra, what Christ prophesied in Matthew 24. Keep going.
Verse 18.
Oh, hold on. Yeah. Start from the top of 18. Slugger, go ahead.
The beginning of sorrows and great mournings.
The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, meaning you'll be hearing a lot of crying out there. Keep going.
The beginning of famine and great death.
Hold on. The beginning of what?
The beginning of famine and great death.
There's the word right there, famine again. But the beginning of famine, food shortages. That's where we at right now. Are we not? Are we not in the beginning of food shortages? Christians don't see that the Bible is true. For all you atheists, out there, right? For all you non-believers out there, and the Bible ain't true. But how the hell we living in a time where there's food shortages, yet thousands of years ago, Ezra and Christ prophesied these things, and here we are 2022 actually living it. Right now. Right this second. Keep going.
And great death.
And great death. Keep going.
The beginning of wars.
What?
The beginning of wars.
Right? The beginning of wars. That's where we at right now. If you didn't know. You Israelites, y'all something else. Listen, we reading out the Bible. There's nothing that we making up. We telling you what it is. It's right there. Keep going.
And the powers shall stand in fear.
What powers are we talking about? The people who are in power. You understand? Who are these people who are in power? Your presidents and your prime ministers and all your politicians, your generals and all that. Are they not now shaking in? Why is all these things happening? Are they not trying to rush to help fix the atmosphere because they see all these green gas effects and global warming? Are they not seeing that now? Well, here you go. It was prophesied then. Keep going. Hold on. And I know some of you brothers that are in class right now might have never heard this. We might have read it in Matthew, but we're getting even a clearer vision of that same Matthew 24th right here. You know what I'm saying? And I know some of you brothers will be like, wow, damn, that's so on point, because it is. And thank the Most High you in the truth. Thank the Most High you growing strong to be able to see what the Lord wanted his sheep that hear him to see. Now continue.
The beginning of evils.
What?
The beginning of evils.
Go ahead.
What shall I do when these evils shall come?
Right. So now Ezra says, what am I going to do with these evils that come? What are some of the evils? Well, let's find out. Verse 19.
Behold, famine and plague.
Famine and plagues, hunger and diseases, hunger and pestilence. Plagues are AIDS, COVID-19. What you got? The Omicron. What else? The freaking monkeypox and this pox and another pox and all that. Right? People are scared because now it's like being bombarded, and of course you got those men. It's a conspiracy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who were Trump supporters, or even those that were Biden supporters, that still didn't believe that the COVID was real until they caught the COVID, and now you see them on video confessing, well, I didn't believe it, but now, if I was you, I'd get the vaccine. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because you now in fear. Now you're seeing these evils happening to you. And guess what? If we Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians don't turn back to the Most High and continue to stay in that church or continue to stay in the world, there's going to be us. We're going to have more family members dying of these plagues. Keep going.
Tribulation and
what
anguish.
is hold on. What is tribulation?
Say trying times, sir.
Okay, but give me a more simpler word.
Struggling.
I mean, struggling is a result of more simpler term is troubles. Right? Troubled times. And that's where we at right now. But it also says something after that. Keep going.
Tribulation and anguish.
Now, anguish means severe mental or physical pain or suffering. And that's how we live in right now. A lot of stress, a lot of mental issues. That's what we're dealing with right now. And these things that are happening right now, no food, wars and all that, in addition to what's already currently happening in our community, adds to that stress, adds to those worries. Those are living in anguish. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Are sent as scourges for amendment.
Right, scourges. Well, let's look up the word scourges. Right? Let's find out what the word scourges mean. Scourge, a whip used as an instrument of punish, right? So the Lord is sending those things as a punishment, in other words, right? And if you want to know what the word amendment means, right? Amendment means a minor change or an addition designed to improve a text, piece of legislation, or the law or a law, right? So these are punishment, in other words, to help us remember to follow the Most High's laws, because the punishment we receiving is for not following these rules and regulations. Keep going.
Verse 20. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness.
For what?
But for all these things from their wickedness.
Right? But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness. Meaning what? That you hearing the wars, you seeing the wars, you knowing about these plagues and famines, you know about trouble, hard times, you know about mental illnesses and stress and suffering. You know that these are punishments from the Lord. But yet with all that, you still want to be in the rainbow family? You still want to eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster? You still want to serve a white Jesus in Christianity and Islam and all that? You still want to smoke weed, smoke blunts, get high, you know what I'm saying? You still want to be a prostitute and swing on poles and all this? You still want to go out and be a pedophile and all that? You still want to break the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments, knowing we're going through these things? Keep going.
Nor be always mindful of the scourges.
See that? That's in other words exactly what I explained. Despite all these things, it don't even cross our mind with a lot of us that's in the world. To us, it's just a lot of us, if you talk to average brother and sister out there that don't be in church and don't watch news, because that's another problem. Israelites do not like to watch the news because there's always the same excuse. Man, it's too depressing. It's too depressing. We got all the time to watch the novelas, right? The soap operas. That we do have enough time for, right? We have enough time to go to the titty bars, right? We have enough time to go smoke that Philly blunt, right? We got enough time for that, you know what I'm saying? We got enough time to watch whatever on TV, right? We got enough time for that, but no time to watch the news and see what's happening around your neighborhood. So now when something dramatic happens in our neighborhood, in our community, in our city and state, oh, we surprised, right? Oh, we like, wow, you know what I'm saying? But meanwhile, none of the wrongs that we're doing, never cross our mind as to why it's happening. Maybe get out of church. How about that? Maybe get out the Iman. How about that? Maybe stop following after America. How about that? Maybe you'll start to see something. Maybe start listening to these prophets in the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge that be on them corners, that the world wants to get off them corners, but the Lord keep us in them corners. Maybe start listening to them. Maybe since 1969, telling you about these oncoming dangers from the Lord, these oncoming evils from the Lord. Maybe you should start listening to us. You know what I'm saying? Because after all, the Lord sent us out there. Like, I could be doing some other stuff. Each and every one of you could have been doing some other stuff. We decided to be smart and play it safe and live how God said. That's a smart person. Now, we could stay stupid. You could do that. It's your choice. But there's a price for being stupid. I don't know about you. My days of being stupid, they in the past. I'm trying to stay here as long as the Lord say you stay here. You know what I'm saying? But continue.
Verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth.
Right? So meaning what? What are victuals? Victuals is another way of saying food. Shall be so good, cheap upon the earth. So once upon a time, and you know this if you from my day, McGunn could remember. I know you young brothers might not remember. The young man in the Dominican Republic, he could remember. Once upon a time, $200 would get you your at least 3 shopping carts full. I'm talking about food. So then we're talking in the 90s. Like you would have to get two, sometimes 3 shopping carts for $200 filled with meat, cereal, sodas, your veggies, your ice creams, your cakes. I mean, it was ridiculous for $200. Now you be lucky for $200, and it's a bad choice of word, but you be amazed for $200 if you walk out with 2 bags and not even full. Not even full. Why? Because we live in. But at once upon a time, victual shall be so good, cheap upon the earth. Keep going.
That they shall think themselves to be in good case.
Right? That they shall think themselves to be in good case. You know how we would say that phrase today? We would think we got it made. You've heard that term? Like, yeah, I got this money right here, man. Man, we got it made, man. Food, the refrigerated food, the gabinetes full of whatever the hell, this and that. Man, you had to share with your neighbors and what have you. Oh, we're gonna go to this cookout right here. Boom, you got your food. You know what I'm saying? And for those of us that remember, they used to stack you up with these books called they were paper food stamps, and every twice a month you would get like $500, $600, depending on your case, twice a month. And I got it made. You was lounging and chilling in the shade. Then now niggas got to be working 2 and 3 jobs.
Right.
That's how we live in these days. Niggas got to be working 2 and 3 jobs and sometimes side hustle just to keep up. So we ain't in those days no more. But the Lord told us it was going to go there. Did we listen? Hell no. Hell no. Keep going.
And even then shall evils grow upon earth.
Go ahead.
Sword, famine, and great confusion.
Right, so even with all that, even though we thought we had it good, that we had it made, evils was happening. And look at where we at now. What is sword? Sword meaning death and destruction. Niggas was still going to get shot by and arrested all the time, going through some hardship, going hungry. Like a lot of us got stories of the ghetto. Maybe we should put another show called Stories from the Ghetto or something. I don't know. I'll think about it. But a lot of us can come up here and start talking about how it was growing up in the Bronx and in Puerto Rico, you know what I'm saying, or Dominican Republic. Stories from the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? We all got the same flow, same narrative about how we lived. Keep going.
Verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine.
Right? So many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine. You're going to be a lot of people dead because there ain't no food. A lot of people dying. There ain't no food. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no money to buy food. That's where we're going right now. Ain't gonna be nothing. Ain't gonna be no money. Hey, it was like that when Jacob and his 12 sons. That's how they ended up in Egypt, because where they was at, there was great famine. There was no food, so they had them relocate to the place where there was food. And because the Israelites were dead, that's the only reason why Egypt grew. Because of how Israel is, we flavorful, but we also innovative. All right, so we're gonna leave it there. Anybody got questions right now? I know Quatas are early. You had your hand up.
Khan. I wanted to know if I could use Deuteronomy 7:3 as God being a racist.
Yeah. Let's read it.
Let's lock it. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Okay, no. That one right there is not a good one. This one here is just him telling us who we should and should not marry.
Right?
And now it is reflective on what he told us in Deuteronomy 7 and 6, no doubt. So now if you go 3 verses down, is what you want. Look at this. Look at this. They suspended me again. The hell with TikTok. I'm done.
Found yourself scrolling again?
Shut up. Go ahead.
7 and 6 out of 1?
Yep.
For thou art in holy people unto.
Stop right there. Let's little by little. What does the word holy mean?
It means separate.
Separate, right? Now, just so the edification, you want to get this book, Zondervan, either the pictorial or the illustrated Bible dictionary, or the compact Bible dictionary. Okay. So now, the reason why you want to do it is because you're going to have to be dealing with Christians. Christians don't pick up dictionaries. Christians like to make a lot of assumptions. That's why the blood of Jesus, right? I have a personal relationship with Jesus. Yeah, so what? You know what? That you can look at it like that too. But also I look at it as I just don't want a nigga to tell the truth. That's what that is. That's how I look at it. Ain't no problem, because there's always Instagram and YouTube. Go ahead, so while I look for the word holy up in here. Go ahead.
Yeah, can I use 2 Maccabees 9 and 5 for the monkeypox?
For the who?
Like to explain like monkeypox back in biblical times.
Just give me a second, and then after he finishes up where he at, then we'll jump over there real quick. Okay, so this is Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, page 230. Right? Y'all want to highlight it for the Christians. Maybe somewhere in that corner, right? Over Holy Spirit, or maybe even over the page number. You can just put in the word holy, so that way when you need to find it, boom. All right? Holy, holiness. Usually translate words derived from a Hebrew root meaning separateness, or withdrawal. Unlike what your Christians teach, to them, holiness, like holy is like some type of emotional feeling, some type of gift, and this and that. The word holy, or in Spanish santa, only means to be separated, separado. Like Holy Spirit means a different spirit, a separate spirit. Holy people means a totally separate people, which is what God wants us to be. How do I know? Read it from the top.
Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art in holy people unto the Most High, thy power.
So blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, we really supposed to be a separate people unto the God, unto the Creator, unto the great spirit that's in heaven. We're supposed to be a separate people. Keep going.
The Most High, thy power, hath chosen thee to be a special people.
Hold on. Has what?
Hath chosen thee to be a special people.
So you Christians that think that God don't have preferences, that God don't choose, like who the hell are you? Who the hell are we to make a decision for the Most High? We forget that he created us. We forget that the spirit that's inside this body right here, he made that and then put it in this body, in your body. Like we don't have that wisdom and knowledge to make a spirit and then a spirit that's alive and then put it inside flesh and bone. Who the hell are we to make a decision on who God chooses and who does God not choose? You Christians say God loves everybody. Now, where's that in the Bible? We're showing you right now God does choose. Prove to me that God chooses everybody. Here it's talking about God chooses Israel. Keep going.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Above what?
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
I don't want to hear no more Christians saying, "No, God love everybody." This is one of many scriptures. One of many scriptures where the Lord tells us that He put us above all people that are upon the face of the earth. He prefers us over all people that are upon the face of the earth. Is that the end of the verse?
Karonka.
All right, now, Sawab.
Sir.
Go ahead.
You want it in English or Spanish?
Let's do it in English just to wrap it up.
This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 9, verse 5.
All right, so let me get there with you. 2 Maccabees 9 and 5, right? Give it a second while this thing decides to change. All right, let's go back.
I'm going to put it in Spanish for those of you that...
yeah, they could read it. Yeah, you're right.
They can read it with us.
2 Maccabees what? Come on now, what's going on here?
Chapter 9.
9 and what?
5.
All right, let me see. Okay. Okay. So that precept there, I mean, you can read it, but it's more like this is just showing us what the Lord did to his particular person versus a whole, throughout the earth. Now, it does prove that it comes from the Lord. That we clear on. You understand? So just for the effect of showing, you can start at verse 3. Matter of fact, start at verse 1.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 9, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
About that time came Antiochus with dishonor out of the country of Persia.
Right, go ahead.
Verse 2. For he had entered the city called Persepolis.
Right, so I understand. Antiochus, right? Antiochus was one of the generals that after Alexander died, took over a certain region that Alexander conquered, right? There were 4 of them, and they divided his kingdom. Antiochus took over a certain region. Keep going.
And went about to rob the temple,
right,
and to hold the city. Whereupon the multitude running to defend themselves with their weapons put them to flight.
Right.
And so it happened that Antiochus, being put to flight of the inhabitants, returned with shame.
Keep going.
Verse 3. Now when he came to Ecbatane, news was brought him what had happened unto Nicanor and Timotheus.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4. Then swelling with anger, he thought to avenge upon the Jews the disgrace done unto him by those that made him flee.
Mm-hmm. So now you understand this is Antiochus. He was so pissed off that he now keep going.
Therefore commanded he his chariot man to drive without ceasing, and to dispatch the journey. The judgment of God now following him.
So now the Lord already had a judgment for him because of what he's about to do. Keep going.
For he had spoken proudly in this sort, that he would come to Jerusalem and make it a common burying place of the Jews.
And that sounds, don't that sound like Esau today? His problems, right? When he had some problems and he felt some type of way about anything, all of a sudden he got to take it out on us. Keep going.
Verse 5. But the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, smote him with an incurable and invisible plague. Or as soon as he had spoken these words, a pain of the bowels that was remediless came upon him, and sore torments of the inner parts.
So now They don't know where this disease came from. Sound familiar, right? Sound like when the AIDS came about. Nobody knew where the hell that came from. COVID-19. Before anybody knew of the COVID-19, right? When it was popularized in this modern era, nobody knew where the hell that came from. Heck, all countries were trying to figure it out. Nobody knew. But guess what? The Lord did, because it was him that did it. Keep going.
Verse 6. And that most justly, for he had tormented other men's bowels with many and strange torments.
All right.
Verse 7. Howbeit he nothing at all ceased from his bragging, but still was filled with pride, breathing out fire in his rage against the Jews.
Right, so bringing out fire, meaning he was just speaking angrily. Man, fuck these niggas and specks and wetbacks and cools, man. I want to kill them all. Excuse my language, but you get the idea.
And commanding to haste the journey, but it came to pass that he fell down from his chariot, carried violently, so that having a sore fall, all the members of his body were much pained.
We can leave it there, but y'all get the idea, right? That's a perfect example of the Lord choosing Israel above all. Y'all see that clearly right there, right? Now, think about this. This is Antiochus. Antiochus was a devil. You understand? Antiochus was the devil, an Edomite, Esau. All right? Un blanquito, a gringo, who hated Israel the same way they do today, like Trump and like Biden. They hate us with a passion. And guess what? In their mind, right? In their mind, they think they're not going to get a reward, but they're going to get their reward. They're going to get their reward. Donald Trump, when they raided his Mar-a-Lago home, that's just a taste. And guess what? That's well deserved. Lord, that's well deserved because of what he did to Issachar and Zebulun. Issachar and Zebulun, when they was trying to get into this country.
Right.
What he did to Levi when they was trying to get into this country. You know what I'm saying? And many others before him. Because these people are very proud people. Very, very proud. And guess what? No problem. The Most High is coming for their necks. And with that, any questions right now? Nobody. Maganamath?
So, hombre de Israel, imagine Shabbat, imagine Barat, Yahweh Ba'ashem
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Barakatham.
La hermana de pie, un saludo a las hermanas. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barat. Yatimatai, vamos a ser despedidos.
All right. No se olviden llenarle esa hoja, ¿ok? Lléname esa hoja. Le conviene que seguir llenando esa hoja, también los diezmos, ¿ok? Todo el mundo comprende.
Carbon.
All right, con eso, shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.